What is up, everyone, and welcome to another special edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, giving you commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Tonight, Monday Night Raw comes to us from the same city that hosted WrestleMania 40 this year, and that is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of Will Smith and the rock band Breaking Benjamin, along with ECW, which is fitting why Paul Heyman, creator of ECW, would be in this year's Hall of Fame with a very non PG speech, by the way. But tonight, in honor of the fact that WWE Raw comes to us from Philadelphia, there's something I've been doing this year, and I had to do it now. And that is to give you my top 10 favorite wrestling matches from certain cities. And today it's about Philadelphia, so let's get into it. At number 10, we will start with NXT champion Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes at NXT Stand and Deliver earlier this year. The match was the first main event on NXT to feature two great black wrestlers. Many years ago, a couple of years ago, Bianca and Sasha were the first two black women to main event WrestleMania night one Saturday. But that time, earlier this year, it was two black men, Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, in Philadelphia, and the crowd was crazy for Trick Williams, and rightfully so, after Carmelo Hayes' betrayal. But nonetheless, this match did not disappoint at all, and thankfully, Trick Williams, now WWE two-time NXT champion, won the main event. Next on this list, we go back 15 years. No. We go back 25 years, in time to WrestleMania 15 in 1999, featuring the Final Boss versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at the WWE main event at WrestleMania 15 for the WWE Championship. And these two fought all over the place like Peter Griffin and the Chicken Mascot. Nonetheless, it was a great main event. It didn't disappoint at all. It was no disqualification. However, thanks to the count of special referee Mankind, Stone Cold would stun The Rock. Did I mention The Rock is one of the greatest Stone Cold stunner sellers ever? He is just so dramatic with his overselling of the stunner. But nonetheless, that night The Rock was the WWE champion, but Stone Cold would win back the WWF championship, and in one of my favorite moments, gave Vince McMahon what he deserved. And it was very prophetic when Jim Ross said, "You reap what you sow." Yes, Vince is now reaping everything he's sown. Next at number 8, we have the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match to take place at Royal Rumble 2018, the women's main event. Very historical, and that match to me did not disappoint at all. It featured the return of Lita, Trish Stratus. We even saw Mickie James and Trish mix it up, along with a couple of other legends. Sasha Banks, now known as Monet, started and almost went the whole distance before being eliminated by the Bella Twins. Hopefully, Nikki is doing okay after the accusation. And of course, at the end, it would be Asuka winning the Royal Rumble match. Unfortunately, she didn't win at WrestleMania, but she was the first ever Women's Royal Rumble winner. That night would also be the night where we would see Ronda Rousey appear post-match to stand in the ring facing off with Asuka, then champion Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Next at number 7, we have a super tag match between Shane McMahon, Drew McIntyre versus The Undertaker and the Tribal Chief before he was the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. May I just say that Roman makes partner with everyone. He has teamed up with The Undertaker. He teamed up with The Rock. He teamed up this year with Cody Rhodes in a great tag team match at Bad Blood. He's teamed up with The Shield. He's teamed up with John Cena. If you want to team up with anybody, Roman Reigns is your guy. And of course, this match didn't disappoint. It was the opening match to Extreme Rules 2019, and it was awesome to watch. Despite interference from Elias before he decided to become a preacher, by the way, Elias is a YouTube preacher now. But before Elias was a YouTube preacher, he was interfering with the match that involved these four guys, but it wasn't enough to stop the Undertaker and Undertaker and Roman Reigns from putting Shane down for the 1-2-3. And a great deal of respect between Roman and the Undertaker was shown. Next on this list, we go at number 6 at Money in the Bank 2013. While the WWE Championship match between Cena and Mark Henry was a good one, what makes this list is the Money in the Bank ladder match main event, which featured the return of Rob Van Dam, Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, now known as Bryan Danielson, Moxley, you suck for what you did at Wrestle Dream, CM Punk, Christian Cage, who likes to make fun of dead dads, and Sheamus. This match didn't disappoint at all. It was very appropriate to have RVD return to Philadelphia, and he put on a great showcase as well. Of course, part of the match was highlighted by Paul Heyman betraying CM Punk as CM Punk was going for the win. And the crowd was on Paul Heyman's side, but as soon as Paul Heyman did his dirty work, the fans booed Paul out of the building. And Paul just has to be a villain. But nonetheless, after all of that happened, it gave Randy Orton a chance to capitalize and climb the ladder, and he would successfully win the Money in the Bank ladder match for 2013 and would go on to cash in against Bryan Danielson at SummerSlam with help from a shocking act from Triple H. Next at number 5, we have Mankind, known as Mick Foley, versus Shawn Michaels at In Your House Mind Games 1996. This match was great. After we saw, first of all, very smart by Shawn Michaels to target Mankind's hand. And of course, we saw tables break, specifically the announce table. But after this great match happened, we didn't get a conclusion due to the fact that Vader came in and interfered, which caused the disqualification. Then we will see Psycho Sid interfere. But the greatest moment of that came near the end as Mankind was getting ready to open the casket, intending to put Shawn Michaels in it, and The Undertaker was in it, and it ran Shawn off. After this great match, though it ended in a controversial matter, Shawn Michaels was awarded the victory via disqualification. Next on number 4, no controversy here. That is Seth Rollins versus Cena versus Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble 2015. Great match. And let me just get this off my chest real quick. Guys, make good choices in life, because if Brock is guilty, and sometimes people lie on us, but if Brock Lesnar is guilty of being a part of whatever that was that he was with Mr. McMahon, then that just shows us the consequences of bad choices, because we should have got Gunter versus Brock Lesnar if not for Brock Lesnar making bad choices. Make good choices, people, so we can make good matches. But nonetheless, Brock Lesnar, before he was making bad choices, had a great triple threat match at Royal Rumble 2015, involving Seth Rollins and Cena. Seth Rollins was the highlight, going for a frog splash on the Brock Lesnar. They said Brock Lesnar cracked a couple of ribs, but that did not stop the Beast Incarnate from coming back and taking everyone to Suplex City and eventually winning the match and retaining his WWE Championship that he had held for a pretty good while and seemingly was unbeatable, if not for bad choices. Next, at number 3, we have Rey Mysterio versus Juventud Guerrera on an episode of ECW, and I believe this is called the Big Old Extreme Bash. It wasn't old, it was a bad word that I'm not going to repeat, but it was called the Big A Extreme Bash. And this was a 2 out of 3 falls involving two guys, two amazing Extreme Lucha Libres. And we learned a valuable lesson. Don't spit in the face of Rey Mysterio, because if you do, he will spit back. Juventud Guerrera got the first fall. Rey Mysterio got the second fall. They went and fought outside in the parking lot, came back and finished the match in the ring. A lot of great high-flying moves. I never thought I would see Rey Mysterio doing a powerbomb, but I did. Twice. Nonetheless, it was a match that Rey Mysterio would end up evening the score and then getting the second fall. But apparently these two had a lot of heat with each other, because even after Rey Mysterio won the match, he proceeded to go for a powerbomb, almost Batista-like powerbomb, through a table. There must have been some real heat going on. But nonetheless, a great match. Next, at number 2, we have Andrade versus Johnny Gargano at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, January 2018. 24 hours before the Royal Rumble that Asuka won the main event of. And this match was the main event of NXT Philadelphia, and it did not disappoint at all. Now, there were a couple of other good matches that happened that night as well, but let's talk about this one being part 1. And it was awesome. Zelina Vega managed Andrade, who was the NXT champion, and this match stole the entire show. And how do we know it stole the entire show? Because the fans were lit about it. Of course, we saw Zelina try to get involved, but Candice LeRae came and fought her off. And of course, in the end, Andrade would win the main event and retain the NXT Championship and go on to compete in the Royal Rumble the next night. Much respect to Andrade for that, even though he was a villain at the time. Before we get to number 1, let me give you a couple of honorable mentions. Obviously, we have Aleister Black versus Adam Cole, NXT TakeOver 2019. We have to talk about the Men's Royal Rumble 2018. And, of course, Unforgiven 2000, the Fatal 4-Way main event between Undertaker, Rock, Kane, and Chris Benoit, which The Rock won the championship in the main event. Now, and of course, the tag team match at WrestleMania Saturday, WrestleMania 40. Rhea versus Becky Lynch as well, WrestleMania 40. Next, let's get into number 1 at WrestleMania 40. We have Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, Universal Championship at the time. This match was built because 24 hours prior, The Rock and Roman Reigns defeated Cody and Seth Rollins, making the match the next slide Bloodline Rules. But what the Bloodline did not know is that during this match, they would find out that Cody has some allies as well. Roman had made a highlight and habit of interfering and of using his family to interfere in all championship matches. So Cody Rhodes had some allies come in as well. When Solo came in to attack Cody, John Cena came. The Invisible Man put Solo through a table. Then Jimmy Uso came in. Jay came in and speared Jimmy through a table. Then we would see Seth Rollins come out in his Shield outfit only to be Superman punched. The Rock was about to whip Cody Rhodes in front of his mother Rhodes. He has been targeting his mother Rhodes for a long time. Just when he was about to whip him, The Undertaker appears. Everyone thought it was going to be Stone Cold, but it was actually The Undertaker, which was awesome. In the end, it was Cody Rhodes who went for Crossroads a couple of times to pin Roman Reigns and end the most amazing, longest reign, pun intended, of Roman with his championship. Everyone was so happy. Even Samantha Irvin was announcing the winner while emotional as well. The match was great. It did not disappoint. And Cody Rhodes finished the story. That's my list. Let me know in the comments below what was your favorite WWE match or ECW match that took place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, giving you commentary and reviews on all things wrestling, and I will see you next time. Have a great night, everyone.